This is the Timeless Tarot, and in today's reading we're going to be looking at the feminine energies for the month ahead. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Cups. Somebody's got an offer to make you in terms of love by the looks of things. The Knight of Cups could be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or could be a younger man. A man who's not that sure of himself, possibly. I think we'll have a look and see what's underneath that. Ooh, Queen of Cups. Okay. So this feels to me like a fated connection with a younger man and an older woman, but a true love connection. And actually, I really want to take a card off the top of the deck. Okay, and we've got the World. Either a connection that you've had in the past is going to end, or a connection from the past is going to reconnect, or you're going to meet somebody from the past, or possibly somebody from another part of the world. But to me, that feels like quite a past energy. The World card talks about completion, really. The end of one phase and the start of another, but with nothing lingering, if you like. So it's all very clear cut, neat and tidy. And it's also expansion. If you're in a situation or a situationship or a relationship of some sort with a slightly younger man or a lot younger man, it might feel like it's time for that relationship to expand and broaden, is one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is that it's out of this world, that this pairing is sort of extraordinary in some way. Fated, destined, due. It's due. For some reason, I'm stuck on the word due. It's time for the two of you to be in communication properly or in connection properly, or it's overdue, long overdue. Yes, this connection, if this is a connection that has stalled or didn't properly get started, or maybe you met somebody and you thought, oh, that could have been nice, but it didn't really go anywhere, and maybe you even forgot all about them, I think it might be coming back around. We will see. That's what it feels like. So either they could be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or you could be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And it might be that you just have a strong placement. So maybe you've got a moon in Pisces or an ascendant in Scorpio, something like that. You don't actually have to be the whole sign, but you've got traits. You've got some watery traits, and so have they. That's what it feels like. Okay, at the centre, we have got Two of Rods. This is the card of possibilities. It's also got a globe in this one. The World is feeling like quite an important factor. I said a minute ago, the connection is out of this world, and this is to me, these two cards together is looking out into the world and really broadening your horizons in general. I suppose to see what the possibilities are. The Rods are action cards, so it could be that the time is right to get things moving. That's what that feels like. If the overall energy is a love connection, I wonder if this is talking about it is time to bring it into connection. Like I was saying, it's due or overdue or long overdue. So somebody is going to take the bull by the horns and get this connection back together this month, it feels like to me. What is crossing that? It's another card of endings and beginnings, is the Wheel of Fortune. So even if you do nothing, the Wheel of Fortune is going to keep turning, and it is going to bring this around. Although, to be honest, I'm looking at it now and I'm feeling like the Wheel of Fortune might have been going in the opposite direction, which has prevented the expansiveness that you have wanted, whether in a relationship or in your life in general. It's changing direction. I'm pretty sure it is, because we've also got the World card. So those are two very similar cards. And also the Wheel of Fortune is good fortune. Let's take a clarifier though, just to be on the safe side. Why do we have the Wheel of Fortune? Hermit. It's another big card. I feel like you might have been trying to gain wisdom on a subject before you can actually move forward in the more expansive way that you want to. So this might not be relating to love. I know the overall theme has got something to do with love, but this to me feels a bit worky. I wonder if you've been working on a project or behind the scenes on an endeavour that you are hoping is going to broaden your horizons in the future. And I think you're hoping is going to prove lucrative. I think it will as well. The Hermit, although it is a card of seclusion, it's also a card of gaining wisdom. I feel like pretty strongly that you've been working on something on your own, possibly something you haven't told other people about, which to my mind is a good thing, because you don't want somebody stealing your ideas. You've had a good idea, I think, and you're not quite ready to move things forward just yet, because I believe that the timing is not quite right, or it hasn't been right. But I think the timing is now changing into, well, I think I said before, the wheel is going to start turning in the forward motion. That's because you've done all the research that you needed to do, and you now know. I feel like you might have had a piece of information that's been really useful very, very recently, which has maybe made you think, actually, this can move forward now. That's what that feels like. You're expanding in some way. It could be to do with work. That feels very positive anyway. So something to do with work has been on pause, or something in your life has been on pause whilst you've been gaining greater insight and clarity, and now it's ready to move into forward motion, and it's going to expand your horizons in a general way out into the world, and I feel like it's going to bring you some money. So this definitely feels like work to me. Right, on the face of things, what is obvious to everybody, including yourself, is that you are ready to take a leap of faith. This ties in nicely with an expanded work project, but it would also tie in nicely with somebody who was offering you a cup of love. So it could be either or both. You're ready. And my feeling is this is to do with love, actually. Although that felt quite worky, this feels more like love. He's also carrying a rod or a staff. So this is a very dynamic energy, the Fool. So if there's an area of your life that is going to require that you take a leap of faith, either to move a work project forward or to move a love connection forward, or whatever it might be, I feel like that is something you are capable of doing, and it is something you're going to be doing this month. Let's take a clarifier to see what the Fool, what does that relate to? Fool and the Devil. Ooh. Well, could be a leap of faith with a Capricorn. It could be something that you've been concerned about in the past that's been worrying you, that you are now ready to tackle and deal with. So it could be that you've had a problem that has been sort of heavy on your shoulders in a way, and you are now ready to shake it off and move things forward. The Devil is, I mean, it can be a physical, sexual energy, and it can be obsession. Ah, right, okay. So maybe you might have been obsessed with something or someone in the past, and you're ready to shake that off now. You're either ready to shake it off and leave it in the past, or you're ready to actually take a leap of faith and tackle it head on and see where it goes. One or the other. Wonderful. It's very decisive energy, that Fool. Very, very decisive, it feels. It doesn't feel foolish at all. It feels like you really know what you're doing. And that's because you've had a period of contemplation with the Hermit. And the Hermit and the Fool are similar in one way, because they're on their own and they're moving things forward as individuals. But the Hermit is much more measured energy than the Fool. But together it feels like the best of both worlds, really. Like you've done your research and now you're ready to move things forward, which is great. What's not so clear, we have the Knight of Rods. With him we have the Magician and the Chariot. So this is our second Knight. We had Knight of Cups as the overall energy, and we got Knight of Rods underpinning that. This could be, in general terms, the Knight of Rods is here for a good time, not a long time. So it is possible that maybe you've had a love connection with somebody in the past and it was a bit of fun, and maybe you wanted it to be more. Maybe it should have been more. Maybe it felt like it could have been more, but it didn't get going. You've manifested it. You might have asked for this connection. I wonder if this is a love you've waited for, is what it feels like to me. And you found it, it arrived, and then it disappeared pretty quickly again. And so maybe you've been trying to manifest it back. That's what it feels like. The Chariot is a guided, these are two big cards, Chariot and Magician. The Chariot is a guided energy, and it's almost moving things forward. It isn't quite moving forward, but it almost is. And the Magician is manifesting, so getting what you want. There is a slight but here. And I think there's always a slight but with the Magician, which is you have to make sure you know what you want. Because sometimes in life, you're asking for the right connection that you think you want at the time, but it can't develop because it actually isn't the right connection for the longer term. So that's a little bit what this Knight is feeling like. Like he came in and he went out in a bit of a hurry, and you were hoping to turn it into something more, but it never got off the ground. That's what that feels like to me. In the past position, we have a true love connection, and that is why I think you felt like it should have developed, because it felt like true love. But it didn't get going because he wasn't ready. He hadn't seen enough of the world, is what I feel like saying. Because we had the world at the start here, didn't we? And I mean, if we look at these with a difference in age, you know, the Knight might really like the Queen. He might really fancy her, but she is a lot more worldly wise than him. And he has got a lot more growing up to do before he's really able to turn this into a long-term situation. He literally needs to go out and see the world. That is what that feels like. And so you may well have had a loving connection, or what could have been a loving connection in the past that didn't properly get going for the reasons we've just talked about. In the future, we have Judgment. Well, that's interesting. Judgment is a wake-up call. This is the re-emergence of something, the reawakening. It can be resurgence, if you like. Resurrection. The resurrection. Oh, yeah. That feels like a thing. It feels like maybe a love connection is going to be resurrected. I wonder. That does feel like a thing. Yeah, let me have a clarifier for the Judgment, please. Oops, straight out. 4 of Cups and 7 of Pentacles. It needs to be a resurrection because the 4 of Cups is not having what you want, or whatever's on offer isn't good enough. And the 7 of Pentacles is waiting for things to come about. Or maybe that's what you've woken up to. Or maybe your person has woken up to the fact that actually they're not that happy with what's on offer, and they're still waiting to find something better. I feel like you're not happy with what's on offer, and you're still waiting to find something as good as what you could have had in the past. That's what that feels like. I wonder if both parties feel the same. And then that judgment call is for both parties to wake up and think, actually, there is nothing better. Ah, yeah. Yep, it was true love in the past. This was the real deal. Neither of you can find it elsewhere. Wow. Wow, this is a big pairing. Judgment and the Ace of Cups. It's hit somebody quite hard recently that this was actually true love. And it might, oh God, I feel a little bit like crying. It feels like it might be their only chance at love. Either you or your person from the past has realised that their only chance at love might be you. And so they're reassessing the whole thing. And they're coming back with a cup of love because they can't find it anywhere else. They might have been all around the world looking too. Oh dear. That is what that feels like. This is a big, big deal. They want that love. That was in the past. You also want it, but I think the difference is, for you, you've managed to move on with life and you're getting on with things. You've got some work project on the go. You're busy. You've put it firmly in the past. I think for your person, it's less firmly in the past. I think maybe they're having a rethink. Or maybe they've only just realised that it was true love. Maybe they've only just realised it was the real thing, is what it feels like. Okay, well, that's the future. Wow. How exciting. I wonder what they're going to do about it. Right, okay. Personal position. We have Temperance. Guidance and balance all in one card, if you like. You're being guided to remain balanced. Because I think the problem is that this sort of the nature of a true connection can send you off balance, off kilter quite easily. And you're being guided to remain balanced this month. So actually, if somebody does approach you with an offer, maybe you're going to have to really think about it carefully. Although the Fool is happy to jump in with both feet, Temperance is here to say, just be a bit careful. Yeah. Okay, in the home position, we have the Five of Rods. It feels to me, and I'm sure I've said this in a reading fairly recently, feels to me that people at home were a problem, or there are people in either one or both homes that are causing problems or are going to be a problem. There is a problem in the home environment. Maybe this month you're going to be busy dealing with things at home, things to do with work and at home, and then the person from your past might come along, and perhaps that is what Temperance is talking about, that you have got other things to deal with as well. So just be a little bit careful. In the Hopes and Fears position, yeah, I think you're just about recovering from this love situation. Now, this is the card of recovery, sanctuary, repair, resolution even. It feels to me like, well, not that it has to stay in the past, but it feels like you're only really just getting over it. And so if you are just getting over it, would you want to open yourself back up to it happening all over again? And I think, again, that is what Temperance is talking about here. Just be careful. Be careful not to lose your equilibrium this month. You've got something going on at work. There are other people at home. You've managed to put an obsessive energy behind you and you're recovering from that. You know, you can revisit it because it looks like it's coming round again, but just be a bit careful as to what you will and won't accept going forward. Let's get a clarifier there, because the Four of Swords is classically the card of recovering from heartbreak. Ooh, Six of Swords. Yeah, I think it's what I was just saying. You've moved on from heartbreak. You're over this connection now. You're okay now. So just be careful that you don't go backwards. Because I don't think you will, because the Wheel of Fortune is in forward motion, we've just said at the start. And this card is the card of moving things forward. So let's read this another way. Hopes and Fears position. You're hoping that you're recovered enough to be able to move things forward without getting heartbroken should anything go wrong another time. That could be one way of looking at it. Or the other way to look at it is that you are recovered enough to move things forward. You're either hoping that that's the case or you're fearing that it's not the case. One or the other. But I mean, I suppose essentially that amounts to the same thing. The outcome card, we have the Eight of Swords. This is feeling a bit stuck. This is like mental imprisonment, if you like. She isn't actually fully stuck. She can come out from this Ring of Swords. She just can't see the way forward. But what I took to go with it, I took two others, and we have the Empress and the Three of Rods, which is lovely. So really, this talks to me about the fact that you don't, and going back to Temperance here, don't lose your equilibrium this month. Try and keep yourself on an even keel. That will help to mitigate the feeling of being stuck. If you can keep yourself on an even keel and harness your best feminine energy, which of course you can do if you're the feminine, and I suppose in terms of How would you do that? Just be real with yourself. Be real. Can I cope with doing all this again? If the answer is no, then you're going to have to go in with a modified approach. If somebody comes forward offering you their cup of love, you need to really think about how to protect yourself from whether or not it's going to work out in the longer term. Might not matter to you. You might not be looking for long term, but I don't think any of you want to have to go through a period of heartbreak and recovery again, you know, because you're only just really moving on from that. I mean, in a way, we could say that the Empress and the Eight of Swords are opposite energies. I mean, you're as stuck as you think you are, and you're as fabulous as you think you are. The Empress is contentment and peace, I suppose. She's fully at peace with, she knows who she is. She's living her best life, but she is contented and at peace. The Eight of Swords is not at peace. That's the opposite, really. And so you have the choice to make this month. You can be as stuck as you want, or you can be as contented and peaceful as you want. So just be careful with what you choose to do. Now, you could choose this month to focus on the work situation and being good to yourself. That would be good. But, and this is coming with a but, because we have the Three of Rods here. Now, at the centre, we have the Two of Rods. This is possibilities and expansion. Where are you going forward? What are you going to do? Well, we have progression here. And progression's always good in terms of numbers. So we've got the 2 moving to the 3. So, and do you remember I said at the start that the Wheel of Fortune had been going in backwards motion? It is now in forward gear. So things are moving forward, and we can see that absolutely definitely because you've moved from a 2 to a 3. And the 3 is really, the difference between the 2 of Wands and the 3 of Wands is possibility versus reality, if you like. So in the 2 of Wands is looking at the possibilities. What is there I can do? Where can I go? Who can I see? How can I live? How can I live my best life to be, you know, to be in my very, very best energy? How am I going to do it? That's the 2 of Wands. Options. The 3 of Wands is reality. This is waiting. Okay, I know what I want, and now I'm waiting for it to turn up. And I suppose in a way it works together with the Magician. 3s is reality. The 3 of Coins, actually building something. The 3 of Swords is actual heartbreak. The 3 of Cups is actual joy. And the 3 of Wands is waiting for something to actually happen. Waiting for something to actually appear. And so for as long as you are feeling like you're stuck in an energy that's not moving, you're going to be waiting longer. And we are moving. You've got a lot of movement cards here. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. We've got the World. We've got the Chariot. And we've got the 6 of Wands. All of those cards are movement in some stage or other. And actually the fact that the 6 of Wands is our last one, that's even better because that's the one of actual movement. The Chariot is getting ready to move and planning and guidance on a way forward. The World is knowing where you're going and how you're going to get there. The Wheel of Fortune is propelling you forward, propulsion. It's perpetual. So the Wheel of Fortune is perpetual motion. It is moving. You are going. And as I said a minute ago, the 6 of Swords is actually travelling. So you've got great progression as we progress through the month. Things that might have felt stuck are going to start moving forward. But you have to just be a little bit careful. This is only a feeling of being stuck. It isn't actually being stuck because don't forget, the outcome is waiting for, well, is in a way it's waiting for the parcel to arrive, if you like. Waiting for the actual event to happen. So being stuck here is a bit of a, it's in your mind. It's not a reality. The reality is, if you can harness your best energy, you can leave that feeling of being stuck behind, and the whatever it is you're waiting for is going to appear. Yeah, that's what that is. think we'll just let's take another clarifier just to see what that is referring to. Because we've got the Eight of Swords, the Empress and the Three of Rods. What are we actually waiting for this month? Ooh, wow, wonderful. A slow moving night. We're waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting for a slow moving night. Right, that's our third night. Okay, now I feel like this night might have been having to do something. I think he might have been working on his wealth in order to feel like he can come forward and make you an offer. If you are now in Empress energy, he needs to step up a gear, really, from being the Knight of Cups to offer the Queen of Cups something. He's actually having to step up again. And he's slow. He's planning. He is planning, but he's slow. The positive thing here is, although he's planning and he's slow, he's determined and he's steady and the energy is consistent. So he's not just going to give up. Once he's made up, it's taken him a long time to make up his mind that he actually wants to make another offer. But he is going to be delivering. Now, if this is not feeling at all like love for you and this is to do with a work situation or a life situation, if you are waiting for something to change, maybe you're waiting for plans to be approved to develop your house, or maybe you've been waiting for a promotion, or maybe you've been waiting for your business to get a bank loan, something like that. It's coming. It is coming. You're not going to be stuck in this feeling of not having for very long. It is coming, but it's possibly going to be a bit slower than you wanted. But you can cope with that. You're in your best energy. I just wonder if we'll take another card. I feel like I need a bit more. Oh, that one's... Oh, wow. Ooh. 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 He stepped up. If you're waiting for a knight who's been a bit slow, he's absolutely stepping up into the real role that he should be in to equal your fabulousness, for want of a better phrase. The Emperor is on his way. Wow. Well, I don't think I need to add anything more to that. This has been the feminine energies for the month ahead. How very exciting. We're ending with the Emperor and the Empress. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. Please like and subscribe so that I can read your energy more easily in the future, which will help me to do more accurate readings for you. If you would like a personal reading, my information is in the description box below. But until next time, this has been the Timeless Tarot. Goodbye.